All right, so it's live. Okay. Um, anybody's tuning in right now, we'll be starting a little bit. Hey guys, I'm gonna start right at 5. There we go. So, hey guys, welcome. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff. Um, Today we're going to talk about how you build strength and power. So the last two hangouts, I talked about how to build your speed and how to perfect your technique. Those
It's
things
five
are
o'clock.
great. You definitely have to do those. But to support building strength and technique, you need strength and power. So that's what we're going to get into today. First, I'm going to talk about, how you build a base of, of strength, how you build a training base for strength, and then go into how to build muscle, turn that muscle into strength, and then turn that strength ultimately into power. And that's how you increase your ability as an athlete, building power. And so let's get to the first thing, a base. Um, when you start off any training program, what you want to do is you want to get your body ready to train, and you do that by you correct any muscular imbalances you may have. You make sure you have a strong core. You develop flexibility. Um, in the weight room, you make sure you don't have like. So when I say muscular imbalances, you want to make sure one side's not stronger than the other side, or you want to make sure like your quad isn't too strong for your hamstring because you get injuries like that. And so, um, that's one of the things you focus on starting off your training program. You want to start off and um, and build that training base. So once you do that, the first 3 weeks you kind of get into that, you do that, and then you go into building muscle. And the thing about building muscle that most guys don't understand is that a lot of it is about your diet. So um, you can do all the reps and go in the gym and perform the reps and all the exercises you want to, but if you're not eating enough, you're not going to put on the muscle. So you go into the gym to build muscle. The range is between 8 to 12 reps. You want to go slow on the negatives, keep the muscles under tension for a longer amount of time to stimulate them to grow more. And and yeah, so you keep the range between 8 and 12. You want to keep slow negative reps on when you push. So you have the eccentric portion and the concentric portion. Eccentric is like the lengthening is when you bring the weight down. So when you bring the weight down, you want that to be slower. When you push, it's always fast. We're athletes. You don't ever want to push slow. We always want to push fast. And so um, you build you build size, okay, and then you're getting your muscles ready in order to build strength. The first thing you want to do when you're transitioning to any different, so example, when you're transitioning from strength from muscle building to strength, what you want to do is kind of start to sprinkle some exercises in there, strength, sprinkle some heavier exercises in, and kind of do it like that, and then you get into strength. So what's strength? How do you build strength? Um, and first of all, let me go into why strength is important. Strength is important because anything you do as an athlete, it takes strength. I mean, if you're coming out of breaks, and I said this last week, if you're coming out of your breaks, if you are slamming into a running back or a receiver, if you're jumping up for a ball to go get a football, whatever you're doing, cutting, sprinting, whatever you're doing, you have to apply force. And I made the analogy last week that if you have two balls, one 12 pounds, like two shot puts, one 12-pound, one 6-pound, and you throw them, you're going to be able to throw the 6-pound ball further. It's because relative to that ball, you are stronger. So you can move it faster and you can throw it farther. Same thing goes, the same principles apply to your body's, your legs' ability to move your body. And so when it comes to strength, what you're trying to do is develop the maximum amount of force that you can generate one time. And you do that, you start off, with about, 6, 7 reps, 5, 6 reps, different exercises, but, make sure they're multi-joint exercises. You don't want to put heavy weight and do curls. You don't want to do that. But, you develop the strength, you develop strength by a short amount of reps, a low number of reps, between 1 to 5 reps, and you kind of gradually go down. You want to go 5, 4, 3, 2, and gradually work your way down into heavy weight. So when I'm talking about reps, when I talk about 5 reps, I mean a repetition maximum where 5 reps is is all you can do. And so the weight is heavy enough to where all you can perform is 5 reps. So you gradually work your way down to 1. And you build that maximum amount of force that you can produce one time. And the whole time you're doing this with sport-specific exercises. So like I said last week, we have, like the lunges or one-legged squats, things that mimic some of the same movements you make while you run or while you cut, or while you come out of your breaks. You want to kind of train along those same ranges of motion. And once you get to a point where you've developed a lot of strength, then you start to mix in the power exercises. We have Olympic lifting, plyometrics, ballistics exercises, things like that. And what those do is they take the amount of force that you can produce and it trains you to produce them fast. So you're training your muscles to move fast, and you combine that, and I said this in the speed training hangout, you combine that with your drills, your speed training and your cornerback drills, and you mix it with the power training, and you have a program that trains your body to move fast through a sport-specific range of motion. So that's the high-level gist of it. Of course, you want to make sure the whole time you're eating right. You want to make sure you get enough rest. Rest in between sets, sets, exercises, and training sessions. So you want to make sure you're getting the right amount of rest. A lot of things sleep. A lot of things go into it. And so in the program, we've structured it to where, we've built in the amount of rest you need to get between sets, the amount of rest you need to get between sessions. So we'll go Monday and Tuesday, rest Wednesday, go Thursday, Friday, things like that. And so that's basically the gist of it. If you guys have any questions, you can start to ask me on the page. I'll be refreshing. Oh, okay. So we already have a question. Cool. That was fast. What's better, speed? So Justin Jordan asks, what's better, speed or strength for CBs? So that's one of those. That's one of those questions where speed is strength and strength is speed. So, if in order for somebody to be fast, like I gave the analogy with the balls, in order for somebody to be fast, they have to be strong relative to their body weight. When you see a guy who's fast, it's because he has a high amount of relative strength. The reason why linemen, big people in general, are slow is because they have all this weight, but compared to that weight, they're not as strong, so they move slower, you know. And then you have phenoms like Usain Bolt, who's big and fast, or like a LeBron, who, you know, he's a 6'8" guy, but he moves like he's 6 foot. But it's because relative to his body, he's strong. And so when you ask me, you know, what's better, strength or speed? Obviously, we want to be fast. You know, DBs, we got to lock up. That's just period point blank. But in order to be fast, you need to be strong. You know, especially if you don't already start off fast, you have to develop that strength. And the way to do that is by developing the maximum amount of force that you can produce, and then turning that into power. You know, which transforms into speed. So, great question, Jesse. See if we have any more questions. I'm refreshing the page. You gotta lock up. That's just period point blank. But in order to be fast, you need to be strong. That's it. Especially if you don't already start off fast, you have to develop that strength. And the way to do that is by developing the maximum amount of force. More questions? Yeah. So turning that into power, which transforms so into speed. And an important thing, you know, a lot of guys, especially young guys, you know, they go in the gym, they see these bodybuilders, and they want to look like that. And what I want to tell you is that being buff is very different from increasing your skill as an athlete. You know, that's just what they do is they focus on hypertrophy or muscle building all the time. That's what they do, and so they have these big muscles, and you know, they look good, but a lot of time that muscle's not functional. And so what we want to do as athletes is, you know, we have our muscle building session, our muscle building period where we go and we do that, because you know you have to kind of prepare your muscles to play and prepare them to get stronger. But you know, that's just one part of it. You have to build the strength, and then you know convert that strength into power, and you do that. So you do that with you know, plyometrics, Olympic lifting, and ballistics exercises. Now, the thing I want to emphasize is to do these things through a cornerback specific range of motion. So I'm going to show you guys an exercise from the YouTube channel. You have to build strength, and it'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about when I say you want to do it through a sport specific range of motion. Now the thing I want to emphasize is I can do these things with screen share. A cornerback specific range of motion. So I'm going to show you guys. There we go. From the YouTube chart.
That'll have a quick. That'll
it'll give you
that'll have.
Okay, and so here it is. When I say you want to do it through a sport specific motion. And here's the exercise. I can do it. And it's it's a power exercise. You want to explode as fast as you can, but that exercise is to help you to explode when you're exploding laterally, to explode out of your brakes. And that's just an example of something that may be the exercises that are in the program. And yeah, so that just gives you little example of what I'm talking about. If let's see, and it's so we have more. So how long would it take? So Jessim asks, how long will it take that exercise you to see improvements with plyometrics? Then help you to explode when you're it doesn't take long at all. To be honest, you know, your power phase. So we have phases. We have the adaptation phase where you develop the ligament tendon strength. You make sure you don't have your muscle imbalances. Oh, I have to go back to that. You know, we have our muscle building phase, we have our strength phase, and power phase. So the power phase is only 3 to 6 weeks. You don't want to have a continuous power phase longer than 6 weeks because you kind of start to lose the gains that you made in strength. So you kind of always want to sprinkle stuff in, or maybe go back and perform another a period of strength. But it takes anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks to really see a lot of improvement. I'll give you a perfect example. This is not it's not so much power training, but it's a great example. So at one point I couldn't get below a 4-4 flat. Like I had gone from a 4-4-7 to a 4-4 flat, and I could not get under the 4-4 flat. Like I had just hit a plateau, and so I decided to try to add some more stimulus to my workout. So instead of me just doing regular 20-yard bursts, I added the sled. I added some more resistance, and my body adapted. And 3 weeks later, I hit a 4.35. It took 3 weeks for me to go from a 4-4 flat to a 4.35 after bursting past the plateau using the ladder. And so it doesn't take a long time to see these results. 3 to 6 weeks. Focusing on power, and you can you'll see results pretty fast. I don't know how young you guys are, but it took 3 weeks for me to go from a 4-4 flat to a 4.35 after I don't know how. Give me 1 second. Hello. The ladder. I'm on the Hangout. It doesn't take a long time. Yeah. 3 to 6 weeks. Sorry about that, guys. So LeBlanc asks, say if I've just finished a power speed phase and I have around 8 weeks left till the season starts, should I keep training for power speed or do like 4 weeks? Oh, so okay, so hope I just answered that in the last one, but basically I'll touch on it. So what you would want to do is cycle back down. So if you've already done 6 weeks of power training, what you could do is cycle back down to strength, or even put some hypertrophy in there if you feel like you want to get a little bigger. I wouldn't recommend a DB. We don't need to be as buff like that. Our thing is strength and power. Speed and power. But you can cycle back down, perform another strength phase, and do it like that, and then kind of go from strength back into power. So you don't have to. If you have more time left, you don't just stay. You don't have to just stay on power. You can cycle back down, perform another strength phase, and build. Basically, you build on the strength that you already built. So if you were, let's say maxing out on the squat at 400, then you would try to build that into 450. And so instead of you being a powerful 400-pound squatter, you'd be a powerful 450-pound squatter, which adds to your performance. So you don't have to. Charles Brown asks, what foods do you usually eat throughout the course of the day? Basically, you build on the strength that you already built. So if you were, let's say maxing out for 400, then you would try to build that to 450. And so. Sorry, I didn't know you guys could hear the recorded version. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. Say if you just finished a power speed phase. Okay. So, what foods do you usually eat throughout the day? So, the answer to that is healthy food, but that you like to eat. So when it comes, I'm going to go into diet actually next week, I'm actually going to go into that next week. And you can, if you sign up for the program, You can sign up for the free 6 weeks trial. You'll get access to actually no, you this is the last free hangout that I'll do. But if you want to learn more about diet, you can go to greatcornerback.com. And I have a diet and supplements page, and I go heavily into diet in there. But basically, what you want to do is you want good foods that you like, but you always want to have a meal plan. You want to keep your carbs at about 60%, protein and fats at 20% each. Make sure you're getting good fruits, a variety of vegetables. Your carbs, you want to make sure they're of the complex variety. So a lot of whole wheat stuff, whole grains. You don't want a lot of starches and simple sugars. Because the reason why is that more complex sugars, they digest slowly, and so they release energy into your system slowly, and so you don't have this high spike. And because one thing, when you get those high spikes and you eat a lot of sugar, you get that spike, you come down real fast. So you want to make sure you eat a lot of complex variety. The only time where you want to eat like simple sugars are just before and just after a training session. And so that's why I always recommend a shake. You get a shake with some protein, put a banana in there, some stuff like that, and chug that before and after your training session to give you some energy. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. So, Charles Brown also asks, do you believe in creatine? Charles, yes, I do. I'm not really a supplement guy, but creatine, yes, I definitely believe in creatine. I used it. So what creatine is, your body already produces creatine. It's part of the fuel that your body uses when you do intense movements and exercises. For example, sprinting, lifting heavy weights. Your body uses creatine as a fuel source to move your muscles when you do those things. And then and this is for quick movements from 1 to 10 seconds. Once you go beyond that, you start to get into anaerobic, alactic, and then it goes to aerobic, where you're using more oxygen. But when you do short, quick bursts of speed, like we do in football, creatine is what your body uses as a catalyst to move your muscle, to move your body. And so what taking creatine does is enables you to do that longer. You don't. So it's in your muscles in limited amounts. So the reason why you get to a point where you can't lift that weight anymore is partly because the fuel runs out real fast. Creatine runs out real fast. It replenishes itself real fast, and this is part of why you rest in between sets to let your body replenish that fuel source, and then so you can go and hit 5 more reps on the next set. And the same thing goes with sprints and DB drills. But so what supplementation, what creatine does is that it allows it puts more creatine in your body so that you can train longer and you can train a little harder. And what that does is, if you can train harder, you get better results. You also have to rest. You also have to rest. Make sure you recover. Get your recovery shakes. Cool down, stretch. Get some the foam roll. Recovery. And here's the thing, guys, and that brings me into something else. Your training session, any training session, is only as good as the recovery that follows it. So make sure you are getting good rest. You cool down after every workout, after every training session. You make sure you stretch. You get a nice foam roll in. Have your girlfriend give you a massage. All that stuff is important. So I hope that answers that question. So the next is the speed shoot a good way? Jesam asks, is a speed shoot a good way to increase speed fast? So yes, it is. But here's the thing about uh, adding things like a chute and a sled. And this is, I didn't say this before, but before you add any kind of extra weight, you want to develop your technique first. You want to make sure, you know, you're not, you know, there's not a lot of wasted movement. There's not a lot of, you know, bad form, bad technique. And the reason why I say this is, so imagine if you didn't know how to lift, you didn't know how to squat properly, and then you put a bunch of weight on your back. All you're going to do is mess yourself up. And so I recommend, I recommend before you add any implements, you develop a base of technique, strength, and speed first. You know, and so that was basically what I did with the sled. Before I even touched any kind of weight, you know, I made sure I went out and developed and used my own body weight first, and then when I start to hit the plateau, I use the extra weight to push me past it. So, you know, all the extra stuff is exactly that. It's extra. You know, you push yourself to a certain limit to, you know, and then you add the extra implements and tools. You know, those tools are used to help, you know, um, to help enhance what you already have. You know, you don't want to use them early on. You want to develop what you have first, and then use the tools. I hope that answers the question. What's the difference between the jam and bump and run? Jasmine, there is no difference. That's used interchangeably. It's basically the same thing. Getting the jam, bump and run, press, it's basically all used interchangeably. Do I know what the catch technique is? No, I'm not. You have to explain to me what you mean by catch technique. Are you talking about guys? Are you talking about catching guys who come from a high motion, like Canadian football? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Sorry if there was an echo earlier. I had my headphones. So if you guys have any questions, any more questions, like I said, you can always email me at greatcornerback@gmail.com. You can also email me at cornerbacktraining@gmail.com for the program users. If you have any questions, you can also always hit me on Facebook, or you can, you know, leave comments on the videos. I always check for comments on the YouTube videos. So yeah, and you know, that's basically it. You know, you want to, you know, develop a base of training. You know, oh, and so I forgot. I need to come back to the base part. So the thing about building strength is in the adaptation phase is you want to start off with a high amount of reps and you know, with slow negatives. It's because it enables your joints to, you know, it enables you to build strength in your joints. And the reason why you want to do that is because your muscles get stronger a lot faster than your joints do. So if you go immediately into heavy weights, into the hypertrophy or strength phases, without making sure your tendons and ligaments are strong, you risk injury. So that's one of the reasons why, you know, we start off with an adaptation phase. You want to make sure, like I said, your flexibility, core strength, muscle imbalances, ligaments and tendons are strong, so that before you get into any training program, you're ready. You know, you don't just jump into it. I know a lot of guys like to jump ahead, and like you know, you asked a question before about just hopping on the parachute. And what I'm telling you is, you want to make sure that your form is correct. You know, you develop a base of speed and strength and technique, and then you add the shoe to help bust you past any plateaus that you may reach naturally. And the same thing goes with creatine, and supplements, period, is they're supplements. So you use them if you want to take yourself to another level. Now, here's the thing with creatine. I'm not really a supplement or a pill taking guy. I'm kind of anti that. So when I took the creatine, the package or the bottle said to take 10 pills. I took 4, and it still helped me. So I would say be very moderate with the supplementation. A lot of guys like to go crazy, and then you get these liver failures and all this crazy stuff happening. Be very moderate with supplementation. Experiment, but start off slow. Because like I said, I was the package said take 10 pills. I took 4 and still saw excellent results. I feel like that's one of the things that helped me
It's
take
5:30.
myself to the next level and beat out the competition, is because I had already pushed myself to a limit, and then I went beyond that limit with the supplementation and the sleds and the weights and the other implements that I used. But in the program, that's why we don't really get into that stuff until way down the line. First develop yourself, and then add to it. So I don't see any more questions. If that's it, guys, I hope I answered all your questions. The program, we haven't moved the price up yet, so the program, you can still get the program for $75 if you purchase, but we're going to move it up soon. Also, guys, if you want a chance to earn the program for free, I'm interested in guys getting better. So, and I like I said, and in one of the earlier hangouts, I don't know. I get something out of watching guys get better. So if you can post your results, post logs of your training sessions with the program to the Facebook page, and every 3 weeks show me a video of you doing drills, timing your 40 and doing drills, and basically showing your improvement. And you don't miss a workout. I'll give you the program is yours free. And so if that's let's see, give me 1 second. So if that's all the questions we have. And thanks for the questions, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Happy holidays. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can hit me on the Facebook page. You can hit me at greatcornerback@gmail.com, cornerbacktraining@gmail.com. Check out the program. Go to cornerbacktraining.com. You can get the program, like I said, for $75. If you sign up now, we're probably going to move the price up to $100 soon, about $97. And yeah, if there are no more questions, and that's it. I hope you guys got your questions answered. And so yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.